What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to Wi-Fi Wednesday. That's right, another week, another team, another battle, and hopefully another win. Now, this week we have the most dapper of boys, and it is, of course, Galarian Weezing. He is the goodest boy. I am super excited to be featuring him here on the channel. And we also have brought a Gengar, which was a requested mon from here recently. And if you've requested something else, don't worry, it is coming. I'm working on those requests. And if you would like to have a request for a future video, make sure to leave that in the comments for me below. Now, this team was taken from a RMT on the Smogon forum, so that link will be down in the description below. And this team is a little bit outdated, but you know what? It's all good. We face a lot of teams on the random ladder here that carry some old things, but this team looks kind of scary, to be honest with you. We actually have a legitimate team. I've been facing a lot of Ubers leading up to this, but this team is a legitimate team, and it's got a Boltund and a Leafeon, which is really awesome to see. So we're going to see if we can't take this team on here. So what looks good here? Weezing looks pretty decent here, actually. It's a nice check to the Incineroar, which is pretty nice. It hard walls that Leafeon, and Boltund can't really do a whole lot to it either, so that's pretty nice. It's physically defensive, so that's good. We have the Gengar for the Alakazam, which is going to be pretty nice, although Alakazam's faster, so I don't know how much work it's going to be doing here. Although it's definitely nice for Rillaboom. That's going to be nice. Clefable looks super good in this game, but this just is hyper offense, and we're kind of a bulky squad, so I'm going to lead Clefable because honestly I'm unsure of what he wants to lead with. He could lead with almost anything, to be honest with you. It's most likely Incineroar, I guess, but maybe not. But Seismitoad is really nice this match, outside of obviously Rillaboom and Leafeon. So it checks pretty much the rest of the team, so that's also going to be really, really good as well. We have Scald on it, so if we click Scald on an incoming Rillaboom and burn it, that would be fantastic. So we got to keep that in the back of our minds here, as we do see the Boltund lead. So, alright. I see you. Alright. Now, Boltund is a mon that I have not seen, like, at all. So what do these things normally carry? Nothing that can really deal with a Clefable, huh? Thunderfang does half, though, which is kind of nutty, to be honest with you. While Moonblast does half back. So do we click Wish turn 1, or do we click Moonblast expecting something to come in? I'm gonna click Wish turn 1. I don't really know what he wants to go for. Nuzzle. Okay, well, if anything's gonna be paralyzed, might as well be this. That's fine. We're gonna get the Wish off here, so I'm not really concerned with what he wants to do next turn. And this is a Moonblast. If my opponent wants to stay in, he's gonna take half. If my opponent wants to switch out, then whatever he wants to go into takes half. We're gonna heal off anything that he wants to go for this turn, so we should be fine. Teleport also could be a viable option in this case. You know, we really don't lose anything by doing that, but prior damage on anything that wants to come in would definitely be nice. Okay, so what do you go into here? Blastoise. All right. That's totally fine. Okay, get paralyzed. That was a chance for a special attack drop, but you know what? Who needs those? What do we go into here? I guess Seismitoad for that water absorb. We're physically defensive, but you know what? We can take any water move and take 0 from that. Flash Cannon. All right. We take about -3 from that, so that's good. And this looks like free rocks to me. We could also go for knockoff here, catching the incoming Rillaboom. But I think I want to get rocks up first, and then we'll do that next time. Getting rocks up seems to be kind of important, and I believe that is his spinner. So being able to force out the spinner when rocks go up is pretty decent. So I'm okay with that. And we do have a spin blocker in our Gengar. So, you know, we've got options. We've got options. All right, so this comes in, Rillaboom comes in, which is definitely a threat. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is choice banded just for worst case scenario here. And I believe that Mandibuzz is our switch in. That's normally what I would choose, although we do have a Weezing. Now, how much does Weezing take from all of this stuff? I also want to make sure that I'm calcing for high horsepower, just in case it carries that. It does over half. Let's go Mandibuzz. That's a little bit safer until I can scope out what his set is. Usually in singles they don't carry high horsepower, but I want to make sure that I'm scouting for that just in case. We do see a U-turn, which is a good play. I'm not against that play. But yeah, I definitely could not make any kind of prediction and stay in there. That's just not something I could do. Boltund comes in, makes sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. And we're starting to get rocks damage. That is very, very nice. So, into the Boltund. So, against our Mandibuzz, we obviously don't want to stay in here because Thunderfang does a ton of damage. Psychic Fangs does over half to our Weezing, so that's also not great. I think Seismitoad is still our switch in here. So, you know, it got the Nuzzle off on the Clefable. That's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. Nuzzle again. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. I think we click Knock Off here, catching this thing's item. If it's choice banded, we're going to get rid of that, which will help to weaken it down a little bit. So I'm okay with that. It seems like we're gaining something every time that we bring in Seismitoad, right? And we're helping to weaken its counter. So the more we can weaken its counter, the better it's going to do in the late game, because it's honestly really nice in this game. So, and it's pretty low risk here. A lot of Boltunds are Life Orb, but this one is not, so it very well might be choice banded. So, you know, I'm not sure, although carrying Nuzzle seems odd. It's not lefties, we haven't seen an item, so I'm not really sure what item that thing's running. Yeah, so Rillaboom comes in, it's going to take rocks damage, it's going to lose its item. Boop. And what were you carrying? Lefties, okay. So I guess a more bulky Rillaboom. Could be a Swords Dance variant, possibly. I still have to go Mandibuzz here. It's just the safe option. We see drum beating, okay. Makes sense. Although I'm not sure why you're carrying that over Grassy Glide. Our speed falls, but I don't really care. To be honest with you, we're threatening a Brave Bird even though we don't carry it. Although Foul Play does half to this thing, which is kind of nutty, to be honest with you. I'm gonna click Roost here. I need to keep this thing healthy for when this comes back in. I know U-turn is probably better. Yeah, it goes for U-turn. Does that do less than that? Perfect. So we're gonna Roost back up to full, so this is fine. Yeah, I have to keep Mandibuzz healthy or else we could end up losing to Rillaboom in the late game. So I do not want to put myself in a position where Rillaboom can gain any kind of ground on us. And getting rid of its lefties is going to make it a little more susceptible to damage later in the game, especially if we can get a burn off on it. A burn would be super nice in making that thing a little more useless. So we'll click Scald next time that we get the Seismitoad in. For now, are you going to go back into Boltund? Because that makes sense here. Incineroar, actually. I'm not really sure what this thing does to me. I'm gonna click U-turn here just to see what this wants to do to me. Facade, you're not statused, so that's not gonna do anything. Yeah, that's fine. And this is just gonna be a little bit more chip, so that's fine. Yeah, that thing doesn't really threaten me at all. I was expecting a parting shot, to be honest with you, and so I was gonna have them waste the parting shot on the Mandibuzz. But now we get in whatever we want for free, which I think is just Seismitoad again. Seismitoad is just really nice in this game. It's kind of nuts. And yeah, this is a free Scald. Every day of the week, this is a Scald. So Rillaboom comes in, it has a chance of getting burned. Doesn't switch out. You're gonna take Scald. Incineroar almost gets knocked out, so close. Hits me with the Drain Punch, that shouldn't do much. No, it does not. So we're just gonna click Scald one more time. I really don't care what you go into. Incineroar goes down if you stay in, or you could save it for Death Fodder later. Up to you. But yeah, I mean, could go Blastoise? No, just sacks this. Okay. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with getting rid of an Incineroar. And of course, Seismitoad is still quite healthy, so we're still totally fine. I'm still totally fine with that exchange. So what do you go into here? The only thing is that my opponent did not switch in the Rillaboom, which can obviously can go into here. Alakazam is actually the switch in. Okay. So here's the thing. Knockoff has a chance to kill this, but I need to keep it healthy for Rillaboom, even if it goes for a... I go Clefable. It's my middle ground play. The thing is, yes, it could click Nasty Plot here, and it's most likely what it's going to do. No, it carries Energy Ball. Okay, great. Good thing we switched out then. Yeah, because my thinking was he could go for the Nasty Plot there, but either way, what do we really gain out of that turn? We don't really gain a whole lot out of that turn, even if we knock this thing out, because then we're just going to be so low that we aren't able to check anything anymore. So I'm going to click Wish here. Okay, that's interesting. So we've got Screens, Energy Ball on Alakazam. Okay. Okay. This is odd. This is very odd. I don't see why I don't click Teleport here. Although we could break a Sash with Moonblast and then do that later. Yeah, let's break the Sash in case that's what it is. We see the Psychic. Yeah. Yeah, Wish will cover that. That's fine. So this has the potential of giving us a special attack drop, as well as breaking a potential Sash. We don't get the drop, but that's okay. That's actually fine. We're gonna click Wish. My opponent hopefully is realizing that you can't win this exchange. Does not realize that. Okay. That's fine. We're gonna get the Wish off here. And so now that we know that that's the set, and that's what my opponent's going for, we can just actually, instead of teleporting, just hard switch into Mandy. So if Psychic and Energy Ball are the only two attacking moves, yep. And this is going to heal Mandibuzz up to full. Not that it makes a huge difference, but that's fine. So unless this thing is Reflect with Dazzling Gleam, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. What is this set? Psychic, Energy Ball, T-Wave, Reflect. And we got paralyzed. Okay. Alright, if you're wanting to stay in, I'll click Foul Play. Reflect goes up again. Okay. Double paralyzed. Love that. Love that. Totally love that. I'm clicking Foul Play again. Maybe I'll get to move this turn. Please? Please. Energy Ball, that's doing 0. Yeah, I'm totally safe to stay in on this thing. It can't do anything to me. Yeah, that's almost a knockout. And now I click U-turn. Stays in. Is giving me the Alakazam. That's fine. This is going to be knocked out. So that's a huge check to the Weezing gone, which is good, which is very good. Speaking of Weezing, let's actually go straight into that. The worst switch in, I guess, would be Blastoise. But I mean, you know, we have Seismitoad for that. Everything else, I think we should be fine, unless I'm misremembering something on the team. If he goes Rillaboom here, it makes me kind of wonder if he has the high horsepower. But we're just gonna have to see. Goes into Boltund. I guess wanting to paralyze this. The thing is, we could burn this and make it completely useless. Or we could just go into Seismitoad and not take anything. I feel like that's a no-brainer on that one. Yeah, I'm not taking nuzzle damage. And this is a free Scald. So yeah, it just seems like right now this is just a spot in the battle where my opponent just can't really break my core of Mandibuzz and Seismitoad, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, there's the Rillaboom switch in. Can we get a burn? I would absolutely love a burn right now, to be honest with you. That would be, that would just make my day. That would absolutely make my day. And then I will go straight into Weezing if I can get a burn here. Please? No. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go straight into Weezing anyway. I'm assuming he doesn't actually carry the high horsepower here. We've seen the drum beating and we've seen the U-turn. We haven't seen anything else just yet. So, Drain Punch, that's fine. Again, that is laughable how little that does to this thing. Yeah, this is fully physically defensive, and we're clicking Will-O-Wisp right now because I want this thing burned. That will be so nice for later. It will help to negate his terrain. All of the good things. I'm clicking Will-O-Wisp. It also will help against the Blastoise. And there is a Dynamax here. This might be a Gigantamax, actually. So, again, on this channel, you know, we face random opponents. And if my opponent chooses to Dynamax, you know, that's fine. We have to play around it. But that gives us the opportunity to also Dynamax. So, Rillaboom goes ahead and Dynamaxes here. Do we see a Max Quake? That's the question. We do. Okay. So did carry the high horsepower the whole time, but doesn't even do half. And after this burn, it's gonna do even less if we can hit. We can. Let's go. All right, so this thing is now burned. That is nice. That is super nice. So, if you're going for drum beating, I'm just trying to figure out this thing's set, because it did half to me, right? Okay. And that's in grassy terrain, yeah. Or no, that was with Max Quake though. So I'm assuming high horsepower or Earthquake. Yeah, that looks like high horsepower damage. But he's probably Jolly. He's not, I don't believe he's Adamant. He would have done more. Yeah, that looks about right. So what we can do is switch into Mandibuzz here to take a Max Quake. And by take, I mean 0 damage. Yeah, so I wasn't sure what his, if he carried it or not. So now we know all 4 moves. Yeah, Max Quake doesn't work. So we've got Drum Beating, we've got Drain Punch, High Horsepower or Earthquake, and U-Turn, which isn't the worst play in the world, I guess. I'm clicking Foul Play. Foul Play's not gonna do much. but then again, he can't really do anything back. Flutter Bee from off of the U-turn. Again, very, very little damage. Mandibuzz is just so good. I absolutely love it. Except for when we get paralyzed. That's rough. Except for when we get paralyzed. And there's the shrinkage. So now I can click U-turn. Yeah, this Rillaboom's pretty much useless now. And it looks like we're gonna end up going to timer. But honestly, I think that I can, given the time, I think we could 6-0 this guy. Yep. Switches out into Blastoise. We did go for the U-turn here. Assuming we don't get paralyzed again. Yep. Yeah, so the rocks are just weighing too hard on my opponent right now. And I don't really think that there is a win condition for my opponent, to be honest. We can go Clefable or we could go Gengar. Let's go Gengar. If I go Clefable, it could invite a Shell Smash, which I don't want to do. I'm just going to click T-Bolt for the damage. I'm not really concerned about the 6-0. Yeah, it doesn't quite KO. And he has Earthquake. Okay, well, there you go. We survived that, though. So, you know. Oh, and no more Earthquakes. Not that it matters. Not that it matters. But we're going to go ahead and click the Shadow Ball here. That covers a switch in. That covers whatever my opponent wants to do. Actually, we click Sludge Wave here. That covers anything my opponent wants to do quite easily. And yeah, I think this game is pretty much in the bag. Boltund can't get through the Seismitoad. This is now too low. This was the only problem for our Weezing as well. Weezing can just burn the rest of his team, and they're all physical. So yeah, this was the only special attacker left. And once they're all burned, we can just stall out the rest of the team. So GG to my opponent. Pretty interesting team. Had some cool tech on there. The mixed Blastoise is kind of interesting. Dynamaxing the Rillaboom. I'm not sure if that was the right play. I get the Max Quake thing, but he's a bulky boy. He's a very bulky boy. But yeah, Boltund isn't going to survive another turn. On this turn, you know, I'm just going to click a move. But on this turn, we would switch into our Seismitoad again. He has clicked Nuzzle every single time. So we're just going to go into that. And then we click Scald. It's going to pick up either the knockout on this, or we'll knock out the Rillaboom eventually with the Mandibuzz because it can't touch Mandibuzz because it's burned. Yeah, my opponent just has absolutely no way through this team. So, GG to my opponent. Semi-stall game, but at the same time, like, it just goes to show you that there are certain mons that if you don't have checks to them, it's just not going to work out for you. So a little stally, but it's all good. I think this team is pretty dang cool. Even given that it's a little outdated, I think it's still quite a strong team. And with a few updates, I think it really could be brought into the modern scope. So yeah, that is going to be our Wi-Fi battle for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. We're trying to get to 200 by the end of the year. So please help me out and share. So thank you all again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.